Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we will be looking at improving the accuracy of eyewitness testimony using the cognitive interview, which you need to know for AQA A-level psychology in the subtopic of memory. I hope you enjoy this video and find it helpful. Let's get started. The cognitive interview technique is a method used primarily by the police to aid eyewitnesses in recalling information more accurately. It is based on Tulving's beliefs that several retrieval paths exist to memory recall, and information not accessible by one path may be available using varying methods of recall. Context reinstatement. When a person mentally reinstates or recreates an image of the situation, including environmental and personal details and the person's emotional state of the event. For example, a person may recall the time of day, weather, sights, sounds, who they were with, or feelings and thoughts. These details act as a trigger or cue to help a person recall more information based on the principle of retrieval failure cue-dependent forgetting. Report everything. When a person recalls every single detail they can remember from the event, even those that may seem trivial, irrelevant, unimportant, or details that the witness isn't confident on. For example, what the offender witnesses were wearing. These details can act as triggers for other memories and help a person recall more important information or highlight something that has been overlooked. Recall from changed perspective. When a person mentally recreates the situation from a different point of view and recalls the event from someone else's perspective. For example, they might consider what the offender or another witness saw. This is done to disrupt the effect of expectations and schemas on recall and promote a more holistic view, which may enhance recall. Recall in reverse order. When a person recalls the events in reverse chronological order to the original sequence. For example, from the end to the beginning. This is done to prevent a person reporting their expectations of how the event must have happened rather than the actual events, therefore improving accuracy. It also prevents dishonesty, as it's harder for people to produce a dishonest account if they have to reserve it. The features of the cognitive interview focus on social interaction, reducing anxiety and distractions, slowing speech, using open-ended questions to facilitate recall, avoiding leading questions, offering comments to help clarify witness statements, and allowing witnesses to take their time in their recall. Geiselman et al., 1985, set out to investigate the effectiveness of the cognitive interview. The study used a volunteer sample of non-student participants who viewed a film of a simulated violent crime and, after 48 hours, were interviewed by a policeman using one of three methods: the cognitive interview, a standard interview used by the Los Angeles police, or an interview using hypnosis. The number of facts accurately recalled and the number of errors made were recorded. The average number of correctly recalled facts for the cognitive interview was 41.2, for hypnosis it was 38.0, and for the standard interview it was 29.4. There was no significant difference in the number of errors in each condition. The cognitive interview leads to better memory of events, with witnesses able to recall more relevant information compared with a traditional interview method. This suggests that the cognitive interview is more effective than a standard interview at eliciting information from eyewitnesses. Fisher et al., 1987, developed some additional elements of the cognitive interview that seek to build a trusting relationship between the interviewer and witness in order to improve the quality of communication between the two, including the interviewer not distracting the witness with unnecessary interruptions or questions, asking open-ended questions, getting the witness to speak slowly, reminding the witness to say "I don't know" rather than guessing details, reducing anxiety in witnesses, and the witness controlling the flow of information. Fisher et al., 1989, conducted a real-world study to investigate the effectiveness of the cognitive interview, using 16 experienced police officers who interviewed 47 people twice who were victims of crime themselves or witnesses. 7 officers were trained to use the cognitive interview while 9 used standard interview methods and formed the control group. The witnesses were interviewed using the standard police interview and then again half using the cognitive interview and half using the standard interview. The groups were then compared. Results found the cognitive interview gained 47% more facts overall compared to the standard interview and increased accuracy by 90%. This concluded it was beneficial for improving EWT. This suggests that the cognitive interview technique can significantly enhance the retrieval of information from witnesses and victims of crime, leading to a substantial increase in the number of facts gathered compared to traditional interview methods. A strength of the cognitive interview is that there is research to support its effectiveness. The effectiveness of the cognitive interview can be shown in comparison to the standard interview by looking at the amount of correct information recalled. A meta-analysis by Cohn-Ken et al., 1999, combined the data from 50 studies. The enhanced cognitive interview consistently provided more correct information and increased recall and correct information by approximately 82% compared to the standard police interview used by police. This is a strength because it suggests that the cognitive interview is useful and has real-world applications, especially in the world of law enforcement, where the police can use this to glean more information from witnesses that may prove crucial to solving crimes and reduce miscarriages of justice. However, Cohn-Ken et al., 1999, also found that 61% of the information gained through the cognitive interview was either incorrect and inaccurate information. This is a limitation because it suggests that information gained from the cognitive interview has a high chance of being inaccurate and therefore unreliable, which jeopardizes the appropriateness of the cognitive interview and further suggests that the police need to treat all information collected with caution. However, Cohn-Ken et al., 1999, study lacks population validity as the majority of the participants involved in the meta-analysis were college students, who are not representative of the wider age range within society, e.g. senior citizens. The study therefore also lacks internal validity, with age being a confounding variable, as other research has found that age affects memory and recall. Park et al., 2002, Raz et al., 2005. This is a limitation because it suggests that the study may not be accurately measuring the effectiveness of the cognitive interview but instead how one interview technique affects a certain age range of people. A strength of the cognitive interview method is that some elements of the cognitive interview are useful. Milne and Boole, 2002, found that each individual element of the cognitive interview was equally valuable. However, they also found that a combination of report everything and context reinstatement produced better recall than any other techniques individually. This is a strength because it suggests that at least two elements work to improve police interviewing of eyewitness testimonies. This is a strength because it suggests that CI can be tailored to maximize recall. By focusing on the most effective elements, such as report everything and context reinstatement, interviewers can improve the quality and quantity of information obtained from witnesses, leading to more accurate and reliable testimonies. A strength of the cognitive interview is that there is research to suggest that it is useful when interviewing older witnesses. Wright and Holliday, 2007, found that the older the participant, the less complete and accurate the recall, but when they used the CI technique, the older participants recalled significantly greater detail without giving any false information. This is a strength because it suggests that the cognitive interview technique can be particularly beneficial when interviewing older witnesses, as it enhances their ability to recall detailed information accurately and avoids a possible age bias on recall. A limitation of the cognitive interview is that it is time-consuming. The cognitive interview requires a rapport to be established, takes much longer to conduct than the standard police interview, as interviews have to be thorough and requires specialist training, which, as pointed out by Kebbel and Wagstaff, 1999, many forces have not been able to provide more than a few hours of. This is a limitation because it suggests that the cognitive interview technique may not always be practical in situations where time is limited or in high-pressure situations, or where law enforcement officials may not have the specialized training required to conduct such interviews effectively. A limitation of the cognitive interview is that research suggests that it is still susceptible to misleading information. Centofanti and Rees, 2006, showed participants a video of a bank robbery and then provided participants with a misleading or neutral post-event summary. On average, the participants who were questioned using a cognitive interview recalled 35% more information. However, The participants in both conditions were equally susceptible to misleading information. This is a limitation because it suggests that during an interview participants can be easily exposed to misleading information, making their recall of the event inaccurate. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Bye.